June 15th, 12 o'clock my time, 3 o'clock your time, 2 o'clock Michelle's time, and 1 o'clock Paul's time. Is that what it is?
No, same time as you.
Okay, same time as me. Rock and roll.
We
We're
all
on the cool
changed. Paul
road.
stayed the same.
No, no.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back.
All right, here we go. We're ready to rock and roll.
Saturday,
Today,
day 13. And you guys have hung with us and you're here on time. So I was getting ready to say you should be proud of yourself for showing up. But Jordan Pone, who many of you know, who was just a guest on here, spoke at the meetup 2 nights ago. And, I'm trying to make everybody feel good for showing up. And he says, you guys who show up and don't do crap, you shouldn't feel good about yourself for just showing up if you're not going to do anything. Go do something. So I said, crap, I can't brag on him for showing up now.
that's funny. Jordan's a good guy. He's a character for sure. I'm glad you all got to meet him and connect with him. And there's a lot more that's going to happen over the next couple of weeks. So everybody who is new, welcome in. You're new on a Saturday, and it's going to be a very interesting day. It's day 13. We're going to go back to the first few days to re-simplify the business. For those of you who are already doing calls and who are already into the process of deal structuring, negotiating a deal, writing a contract, sending a contract, amazing. Congratulations. This is big. We're a step ahead. For those of you who are new or who have just been listening and taken in the information but haven't taken action yet, or who just need a refresher, we're going to go back and really, really, really simplify what does it mean to buy houses on owner finance and to lease option these houses. All right. So this is a day to take notes. This is a day to really be attentive, like every other day. And this is a day to ask your questions at the end. All right. So as always, put up your beverage of choice. We like to stay hydrated every single day. I got my waters over here. All right. I see some coffees. I see some waters. Good. I see some Jack Daniels. Where's Ahmed? I don't think he's on here. It's all right. More than him. Okay. Everybody type in the chat. Everybody type in the chat. 1 out of 10. How are you feeling? Are you feeling a 10? Just on top of the world, amazing. You just woke up on the right side of the bed. You're just feeling great. Are you feeling a 9? Are you feeling a 2? Maybe it's been a hard day. Maybe you had some hard stuff going on. Let's hear it in the chat. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of 9s, seeing a lot of 7s. So for the 6 and 7s, we're gonna bring you up. We're gonna bring you up.
7.3.
And for the 9s and 10s, we're gonna break the scale here. It's gonna be an exciting time. We're gonna break the scale. All right.
Yeah.
That's 65 on a Saturday, which is beautiful. Let's get that up. And of course, we don't do Sundays, but we come back on a Monday. So let's rock and roll. Angie, you ready?
I am so ready, man. I'm excited. We had a great chat last night. I know he's talking about all you guys showing up here. Leo and I were until late of how to bring you guys more value. And so we want to inspire you to be able to get more leads and get more checks, because checks solve a lot of things, but it all starts with who we are as a person and our mindset. So we have some really exciting things to cover with you today. Let's delve in, brother.
Let's do it. So let's go with the absolute foundation. This is what we have every single student that works with us do. And this is what we do, Andrew, almost every single month. You know, we recheck in with this. But the first step of anything, write this down, is to identify the goal.
Identify the goal. That's important.
Okay. And step 1 within identifying the goal is to establish your mission, your vision, and your purpose. Okay. So Andrew, let's dive into that. What is the importance and how do we actually establish our mission, vision, and purpose?
That's an awesome question. And I think it's so important to really look at life and just ask ourselves, because most people get so caught up in taking care of today's needs, or some people who are doing a little better financially, the next few weeks or few months or few years needs, we never take time to stop and dream. Like, what do we actually want? What's the life that when we're 90, 100, 120 years old, that we're sitting there going, I'm so glad I did that thing. So to identify that really takes some reflection. And Leo, you taught me that, to take time alone and to just really talk to God, to think and sit and picture what kind of life I want years down the line. So accomplishing your mission is why you were or how you're going to get to your purpose. So your purpose is why you're put on earth. Your mission is how you're going to get there, and your vision is how you see that mission.
Absolutely. So, main thing is to start by clarifying your immediate and long-term financial goals. We're going to start there. We'll repeat it a little bit as we go. But the reason we start with the financial goals in this case is because as we're doing this business, we have to see what this business is going to do for us. And the financial goals allows us to build bigger and experience more things and afford bigger things. So start by clarifying your immediate and long-term financial goals. Okay.
And I just
And
want to shout out, Brad, it is so good to see you, my friend. Got the beverage going. I'm glad you're on.
okay. So let's talk about the freedom number, Andrew, because this is what changed my life when you spoke this into my life. First, you asked me, Leo, how much do you need to be comfortable? Right? How much do you need to be to pay the bills and make sure you have enough money? Um, and at the time it was 5,000. So you taught me how to do that. And then you said, Leo, what is your freedom number? What is the number that would pay all your bills, that would pay your health expenses, that would just pay your expenses, but also give you enough to live a very free, comfortable, happy life? And I defined that number. And over the time building this business, I was able to hit that number. But I wouldn't have been able to if I did not define it first. So explain the impact of having a freedom number, and let's have everyone set one.
So the first number that pops in your mind when I say freedom number, and if you, for someone who's been making 100K a month, it may be 500 a month. For someone though who is making 5,000 or 3,000 a month, your freedom number may be 8 or 10,000 a month. There's no number too low or too high. It's that number that you can go out to dinner with the family, grab the check and not worry about it. It's the number where if you want to hop a flight to Vegas for the weekend, you can do it and not worry about it. If you want to grab a hotel because you're too tired to drive back home tonight, you ain't going, oh crap, I need to check, make sure I got the money. That freedom number is giving you a good life. What is that number for you? Somebody type in your freedom number in the chat. All of you guys that are comfortable, type it. 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. What's your monthly freedom number? Good.
Seeing
Got some
30, 50, 25, 30. I love it.
Bruce
Okay.
Franklin. So good to see you, my brother. This is good. All right. So we first must know our freedom number. Once we know our freedom number, we can now begin to take steps toward that objective. So I'm going to give you a quick example, and then we'll stay on track here with beginning to the basics of buying properties. There's three things that go through my mind when I think freedom number. Number one is first active income. If I am staring the face of a bunch of bills or I'm looking at not being able to pay the mortgage and the car payment this month, or I need to get a chunk of money fast, I'm going to go wholesale some properties. I'm going to ask myself, what is 10 ways I can make my freedom number in the next 30 days? How can I make 10K, 20K, 30K, 50K in the next 30 days and go wipe these payments out and not be stressed? The second thing that comes to my mind is, how do I build cash flow? How do I step into beginning to acquire properties, which we're about to talk about, and start to lease option those properties? So maybe it's 300 a month, 500 a month, whatever it is, but now I can start building toward my wealth. So one is today's needs. Two is starting to build that cash flow. Thirdly is the non-traditional ways that I can make money through this business. So I can partner with people. Maybe I can do developments. Maybe I can use my expertise and connect people. I can do affiliates. I can do all sorts of things inside this business. You know, when I was a real estate investor starting out, I started affiliate marketing, not really marketing, but people ask me where I find leads. So I signed up to be an affiliate on my favorite lead sources. Now, when somebody asks me where I get leads, I text them a link to the place. Before I knew it, I was getting 3, 4, 5, 600 bucks a month. So one, immediate money through wholesaling. Two, starting to build cash flow through lease options, long-term rentals, short-term rentals, or midterm rentals. And three, non-traditional revenue streams through this business.
Absolutely. So what you're saying is, as you just establish what you're needing and you establish your freedom life number or your freedom number, you can ask yourself questions like, are you needing quick cash now? And if so, then consider wholesaling the properties for quicker payouts. And if you're looking to immediately start building your portfolio and building wealth, then that's where we can really start buying properties and doing a lease option. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's what I like. So let's define the mission and purpose, and then we'll go right into the strategy to build out this freedom number. Okay. So guys, type in the chat yes if you're ready for that. I just want to know who's here, who's awake, who's ready to go. So me and Andrew can feel that excitement from you guys. Because we're always excited. We're always ready to go. But we just need to feel it from you guys sometimes.
By the way, make sure you text all your friends that didn't show up today and let them know they're missing a major opportunity, because we're going to be closing your leads again next week.
That's big. Okay. So for about a minute here, we'll go over your mission and purpose. And this is going to be important for you guys throughout the rest of today and tomorrow to really think about this, because this might just be the inspiration that you need to finally make that change in your life and in your business. So define what drives you. What gets you up out of bed? What makes you wake up and not have that grogginess? You might have not had too much sleep, but you just wake up and you go straight to the bathroom, you brush your teeth, you're ready to go, you look at yourself in the mirror, and you're just excited about life. What makes that happen for you? Is it the desire to spend more time traveling and being with your family? Or is it to make a broader impact on the world? Is it to do something bigger? Do you have a dream to help veterans find homes? Do you have a dream to help kids that are starving eat more? Do you have a dream to build a big community of people who want to heal? What is your dream? What is your vision? And know that you're capable of doing that. Veronica says helping people better themselves. That's beautiful. Why are me and Andrew able to build a big community? Is because our mission is to help people become the greatest version of themselves. Now, what is your vision? Because everything you do from this moment forward will align with that vision, will align with that goal. So type it in the chat, what is your mission and purpose? And if you don't know yet, that's okay. That's okay. We're going to spend this time to be able to do that and to be able to discover it.
My family, good. Help people heal and live their best life. Inspire my grandkids to avoid the rat race. Have a better, more stable life. I love this. Health. Help my grandsons. Help seniors. I love this. This is so fun. I see when people start to think about this piece, you know, because I always say I don't get excited about the box on the dirt. That's what I call houses. I get excited about the cash flow and the freedom that they give. The 5 and 6 figure checks it allows us to write for our family or for charity or for good and for the things that mean so much to us. And it excites me as I'm seeing your guys's mission, your objective. Very important that we step into that at the next level. Some of you have talents and skills and the ability to step into a lot more than you're doing, but all it takes is the right training or the right connection. And we have both of those right here.
Absolutely. So see real estate as the driver, as the tool to be able to get you to that mission. That's the same thing me and Andrew did. We utilize real estate as the tool to be able to achieve our mission and visions every single day. That allows you to get through the hard times. That allows you to get through the business and build your skills and understand every aspect because you know when you get really good at this business, when you can understand every aspect and get really, really good every single day, that is when your mission starts to get closer because now you have the funds, now you have the skill set, now you have the network, now you have the people to be able to do the things that you want to do, to help the people that you want to help. Okay. So we'll dive into that deeper into other days, but I want you guys to think about today and tomorrow. Really, what is your mission? Really, what is it that you want to do at a deeper, deeper level? Now we're going to talk about the strategy to actually make that mission come alive.
Buffalo method.
The Bofslow method. So Bofslow is Bofslo. You can spell that out, Bofslo. In an absolute nutshell, it is buy on owner finance, sell on lease option. Now, we're going to take this back as if everybody is in a position where they don't fully understand seller financing at that level. And we have people here who have done hundreds of deals. We have people here who have done 50 plus terms deals, and we have people here who have done none. So we're going to take it down to an absolute essence in a level that everybody can understand. So Andrew, let's explain seller financing in an absolute nutshell where everybody can understand.
Seller financing, simply put, means you're buying a house and agreeing to send the seller every a check in the mail every single month, or wire or ACH nowadays. Means you agreed to make payments on the house and the seller agrees to be the bank. You get to own the house. You get to get all the benefits of owning the house, get the keys, get the rent, get the tax benefits and everything else that comes along with owning a house without writing a big check up front.
So I'm going to simplify everything Andrew says. So seller financing is when person selling something lets you pay in installments instead of all at once. So if you're buying a house from somebody, instead of getting a loan from a bank, you agree to pay the seller a bit of money every single month until you've paid the full price of the house. So, Andrew, when buying a house, there are two types to consider: houses with existing loans, which are mortgages, and houses without loans, free and clear. Let's explain both of those. What are houses with loans?
So let me first add to that. The first thing, every time we say buy on payments, I always get people who are newer to the business asking me, why would anybody ever do that? And the answer is a lot of reasons, and we'll get to cover those a little more. Some people have unwanted houses, tired landlords, inherited, death, divorce, all sorts of things. So it's about finding those people. So when a house has the loan to the bank, we're going to buy it on owner financing, and we're going to use a wraparound mortgage, which just means we owe the seller and the seller owes the bank. When we buy and the house is free and clear, we're going to give the seller a note and mortgage, which is just the attorney's paperwork that tells them and tells us what terms we agreed to on the property, meaning how much a month, how much we put down, and how long we have to pay them off in full, the entire purchase price of the property.
Beautiful. So, houses with loans. If the house has a mortgage, we agree to take over the ownership. We handle all the legal paperwork with a real estate attorney to ensure everything is correct. We also agree to take responsibility for the existing debt, which means we'll continue to make the monthly mortgage payments directly to the bank on behalf of the seller until we eventually sell the house. And then houses without loans, free and clear. If the house does not have any loans against it, then we buy the house by making payments directly to the seller over time until we've paid off the full purchase price. Now, me and Andrew like to explain things in a way where when he was teaching me, I needed him to explain it to me. I said, Andrew, I do not understand what you're saying. Can you explain it as if I'm buying a car? Because I understand that. So Andrew, I think this will help a couple people who understand it, but need to take it to this level where we can fully conceptualize it for those of everyone who has bought a house, bought a car. Explain it in a sense of buying a car.
Yeah. First of all, I want to mention that you literally, as a real estate investor, instead of thinking about it as a complicated thing, just think of it as you're literally collecting ownership, collecting deeds to houses. We're in a very prime opportunity right now in the market where we can collect hundreds of deeds over the next several months, couple of years without having to trade big amounts of money. So that's the really cool part about where we are is as interest rates rise, there's still hundreds of billions of dollars of debt that are super low interest that we can go out there and take over. And then we'll be taking questions and answers here in a moment. So a car, a house, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. If somebody wants to sell me a car and I want to buy it, instead of going down to the bank and getting a loan and paying today's crazy interest rate, they can sell me the car. I take ownership, I take possession, and I agree to pay the bank on their behalf until it's paid off in full. So I get to own the house. I get to pay on the house, but I never have to go to the bank and get the loan. So whatever the interest rate is on it, for example, if someone bought a new car in 2022 and bought it with zero interest, I get to take over that car from them, take ownership, and pay that 0% interest loan out and reap all those benefits that they otherwise would have reaped had they not decided to sell me the car without trading money.
1 out of 10, everybody, put in the chat. How much do you understand what we're going over? It helps us to get a gauge on where everyone is. Because if we get a bunch of tens, perfect. We'll keep driving it forward. Beautiful. Awesome. So, Andrew, we purchase houses in two primary ways. What are those ways?
So we buy houses with terms, which just means what we just described, make payments to the seller, or we buy houses with cash. Doesn't matter whose cash, your cash, bank's cash, partner's cash, private money cash. But in that case, the seller's going to get paid off in full when you close the deal. But in return for that, we're going to get a huge discount on the property. So we pay more over time or less cash up front.
And Andrew, explain this being a numbers game because, the reality is that 90% of people will not be interested in one of these two approaches.
Mm-hmm.
What is your mindset on that?
So it depends on where the leads come from. There's two ways to get leads. Write these down. There's inbound calls and there's outbound calls. And I like to simplify it in that way because if we are calling outbound, we're calling Facebook Marketplace, Zillow, houses for sale by owner, yard signs, wherever we find houses for sale, it's us and a bunch of other people. And so we're going to have to talk to probably dozens of people before we get them to say yes to either a huge discount or yes to payments. And then there is inbound. Means they're finding us from an advertisement, a car magnet, a business card, a bandit sign, online ad, something, in which case we're going to have to talk to a lot less people because they're more motivated because they've already reached out saying, hey, I need to sell my house fast. So inbound calls and outbound calls. is where you're going to get the leads from. Just know if you're outbound calling, they're free. So it's great. Can't go wrong on price. It's going to take a lot more dials to find a potential deal. 27% or so of people right now say they will consider taking monthly payments. But out of those, there's a very small minority who will actually take payments that leave us room to make money. I say that because know it's a numbers game. If you talk to 10 people and you don't have a deal, that's okay. If you talk to 20 people and you have a deal, that's okay. It's a numbers game. We just got to talk to more people, get more leads, ask the questions that you have on your script until we either A, get terms, or B, get a huge discount on price. And I think it's very important to note that as you're doing these deals, that's why we start with the mission, the purpose, the vision. What is our freedom number and where are we trying to go? Because that's going to determine what we focus on these deals. That's going to it's going to determine what our objective is when we're asking these questions. Are we trying to get to a fast payday? Are we trying to build cash flow? Or are we trying to do both?
So knowing that 90% of these people are not interested in one of these two approaches, which is cash at a discount or taking payments over time, that leaves the other 10% who are open to these terms. Now, you told me this one time and it changed my life and how I saw this, but you said those 10% will be the 10% that makes you rich.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, for example, if you make 10 calls and nine people say no, but one says yes, that one successful deal could net you a profit of $10,000, $20,000, $50,000. And just focusing on the right opportunities that are out there, even if there's a few, will be the lucrative amount that change your life. Is that right?
Absolutely. How many $10,000 calls do you need to make up for all the zero calls?
That's
That's
right.
why we follow the script and get to the point, because then it doesn't take a lot of time. And again, I want you to view this. I want to take us back to the 30,000-foot view as we come to get ready to take your questions and set you up for Monday's call. But the 30,000-foot view is you're literally collecting deeds during this period of time. I don't know how long it will last, this once in a lifetime opportunity where we're going to be collecting deeds by the dozens or the hundreds, whatever you choose. And we're turning around and turning them to massive, massive cash flow. You're going to be collecting contracts and getting checks in return. That's the whole objective. And so it comes back to, we have to talk to sellers. We have to send out, make lots of offers and get contracts signed. That's where we are in this process. We are consistently, for this first couple of weeks, we have been coming back to closing your leads for you and calling live seller calls. In the last half of our 60 days together, we're going to be talking a lot more about exit strategies. So we're going to take some questions. Anything to add before we jump into questions, Leo?
No, this is big. I think as we jump back every now and then to catch everybody up, it gives everyone the chance to be on the same page. You know, the biggest piece is that we're getting leads and we're having conversations with these leads. When we understand the business, it helps us, but we understand the business by doing the business. We take action, we learn from what you're getting out of these every single day, 30 minutes, and you go take action. You make the phone calls, you mess up. When you mess up, you learn, right? You're going to fall and you're going to fall and you're going to fall and you're going to learn, you're going to learn, you're going to learn. That is the best thing that you can do. And for each of you guys who are in this position of making phone calls and going out there every single day, waking up on time, doing everything you can to succeed, you will. And that is a fact as you continue to show up. So let's do
That's awesome.
questions.
Let's
All right. We have a question here from Carrie. She says, when buying a home with a wrap mortgage, we make a payment equal to the seller's mortgage payment. What about the seller's equity, whether 5K or 50K? Thanks.
Most of the time, the seller gets paid off when we cash out the property, resell it down the line. On rare occasion, the seller may negotiate to get their equity or some of their equity up front, or you may pay it additionally every single month over and above the underlying debt. Standard is we buy the house, they get their equity on the back end when we resell the property.
All right. We have a question here from ES. They say how do you reassure a seller if they're worried about their credit being damaged if we don't make mortgage payments?
My answer to that is number one, when it comes to buying this house, it wouldn't make sense for me to pay thousands of dollars in closing costs and take over it and not pay it. And I can't make money on it unless I do pay it. And secondly, our attorney draws up all the paperwork. So if God forbid I died in a plane crash, you would have the ability to have the house back. And then if they have further concern, I say, if that's going to keep you awake at night, you shouldn't sell me the house.
All right, we have a question here from Bruce, and he says, "What is the ideal time frame to structure a seller finance deal?"
Full term, 30 years or till it's paid off in full, no balloon every single time if possible. Only do a balloon if they ask.
All right, we have a question here from Sharon. She asked, "Could the seller take out a second mortgage on the home while I'm in control? Or could a lien be placed on the home if the seller were to default on their child support or IRS debt?"
Awesome question. If you buy the house, you take ownership, you get the deed. You should get a title policy, in which case you control it fully. So the seller also signs affidavit and the whole works when you use my paperwork that they cannot lien the property. And because they no longer own it, no one else can either. Check with a real estate attorney. Always close with a real estate attorney because I'm not one and I don't claim to be one. And everything I told you is probably a lie.
All right. We do have a question here from Brian. He says, "What type of commission would you pay an acquisitions rep and a dispositionist representative? What if they do both? They also make an hourly rate?"
Totally depends on how you want to build your team. For me, my acquisitionist and dispositionist people are joint venture partners.
All right. Emily says, "Andrew encouraged me to ask this live. I want to know how I should go about getting started on doing deals. I'm having trouble understanding the process, such as how you can do a deal with only $10 at risk. I've never had a credit card and have no financial backing personal funds. I do have a lot of time I can put into this, though. How do I get what I need to start making deals?"
I love that question. So I'm going to answer it in 30 seconds and then I'm going to give you an actionable. The whole objective, the whole scope of this business is get leads, follow up, get a contract signed. After you signed a contract, attorneys handle everything else. You get the ownership and you turn around and turn this thing to a profit. So because I know that that's a lot in one sentence, I'm going to give you an actionable step. And that is get some filled out lead sheets and send them in to me, drew@truca.com, and let's dial them. And you have a whole team of about 100 people cheering you on as you bring them here and we take them through step by step. So get lead sheets filled out. That's the whole objective right now.
Thank you, Andrew. We will share that in the chat. And we do have a question here from Josiah. He says, "Most people I've spoken to are wary of seller financing. What sort of criteria helps you find the owners that are willing to move forward?"
Most of them are going to be wary of owner financing everywhere in all 50 states from every lead source. There's two things that you must do. Number one, the more motivated, the less you're going to have to talk to get a deal. Number two, get really good at asking the questions. So I've seen people ask the questions who get the credibility pushed back a lot. And I never get the credibility pushback because I ask the questions like I expect an answer because I've done it for years and I portray that confidence, which, by the way, is why we're building this together over these 60 days. And some of you will continue working with us beyond the 60 days because we want to make sure you can borrow our confidence. It comes to asking the terms questions, knowing that most people, 75%, 73% are going to say no to terms up front. And you're going to deal with that minority who say they will consider it. And then we're going to go down through the terms. If you keep getting pushback on credibility, continue to increase lead sources. And one other note, if you are good, for those of you that are good on the phones, buy some great quality leads. If you're not yet good on the phones, then continue practicing on the free ones until you get confident on the phones.
All right. Thank you, Andrew. We are close to out of time, or I guess we're 5 minutes over. Do you have time for two more rapid fire? What do you
Two
say?
more rapid fire. Let's go.
All right. Elizabeth says subject two, what are the risks with VA FHA for due on clause?
Due on sale clause is the same risk for all loans except a reverse mortgage. That's a different beast for a different time. But we buy them in a trust. Out of the hundreds I've done, I've not had a problem with the due on sale clause. It's technically a possibility. My experience has been banks wants payments. We do it in a trust on the technicality, and we buy the trust from the owner. So that's a whole seminar in itself. And if there's still confusion there, that's cool. Close it with a real estate attorney, buy in a land trust when possible, and don't worry about the rest.
All right. Last question for Maria. How do you suggest editing the opening script when calling sellers for the first time and let them know I'm a realtor, but that's not the reason I'm calling? In your magic words, what would that sound like, please?
I'm calling interested in buying your house on 123 Main Street. I'm not an attorney, by the way, and don't claim to be. But assuming that you have to reveal the realtor thing to them at a point of a meaningful relationship, I would lead them to answer the questions about the property and ask them the questions. And I would bring it up in conversation. I'd say, by the way, 30 seconds about me before we continue this conversation. My name's Billy, and I'm interested in buying the house. I've been buying houses in this area for 3 years. And I also got my realtor's license to list properties, but boom, moving on back to the next question. So figure out a way to make it in there as a side note, not the focal point. Awesome. And did I freeze? Nope, we're good. All right. So thank you for putting that in the chat. Make sure you're part of Circle. For all of those of you who are already on there, hop in Circle. All your contracts, all your forms, your agreements, and whatever else other free stuff that we have for you is there. And make sure you invite at least 3 friends this weekend to come join us. We're going to be calling your leads on Monday. I'm going to be posting in the Circle for you to turn in more leads. Remember, if you've got money or you've got experience, but you don't have time, partner up with somebody who's experienced on the phones and have them to dial your leads for you. And let's make some money together. All right. We're looking for partners, connections, and opportunities to work together with amazing and incredible people and always expanding our community. I'm going to be telling you more about how you can become a part of our community in coming days. So click the link in the chat, join up with Circle. And what's a final message, Brother Leo?
Big Saturday. Keep the energy up, keep it rolling, talk to some good people, go up on Circle, but don't let the momentum drown on a good Saturday and Sunday, all right, people? We'll be back here on Monday. High energy. I want you all to be waking up at the same time, doing your morning routine, pray, drink the water, do the things, take care of yourself, take care of your damn body. Take care of your damn body, your mind, your soul, all these things matter, and we're doing this business together, okay? So we'll
Get
see
the
you guys on
freaking
Monday.
money. See you on
That's
Monday.
right. Rock and roll. Peace.